What's up, good people? Welcome back to another episode of Undrafted Views. We're here. We talk sports from the sidelines, and today we're going to give you our top 3 predictions for the last quarter of the season. Let's get into it.
Doesn't it seem like yesterday that the NBA season started? And now here we are, like 22 games left in the season. That's crazy.
I cannot believe it. But you know what's funny? Because I was like, I cannot wait for the season to start. Now I'm like, I cannot wait for the playoffs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
cycle continues. So I'm super excited about these last set of games that are taking place because really these last 20 or so games will be the determining factor on where these teams will stand. So
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be critical. Like each game matters anyway, but at this point, you really don't have there's no other long stretch in the season for you to get it together. So
Yeah, this is it. So let's get into our top three predictions for the rest of the season. Now, I know. These are only predictions, right? This is all it is. So you guys drop down in the comments and add yours if you don't like ours. But let's get into it. All right, let me hear your first one.
Okay, so my first one is that the New Orleans Pelicans will take the 10th spot of the Western Conference in standings, which means that they will be competing in the play-in tournament. Yes. And
Oh,
it's going to be on the back of their new acquired addition to their roster, CJ McCollum. I'm just telling you right now, that's just what it's going to be. Portland, I'm sorry.
oh wow. Okay. You know what? I like that. I'd be happy to see the Pelicans, but let me tell you mine. I have the Philadelphia 76ers season the first spot in the Eastern Conference. I mean, because think about it. They were
Okay.
able to make this monster trade and they were able to keep Matisse Thybulle, Maxey, and Danny Green.
Mm.
Now, I know you're not a big fan of Danny Green, but the fact that they didn't really have to give up a lot of assets and Joel Embiid doesn't have to work as hard anymore,
Yeah.
I think they're going to seize the top spot in the Eastern Conference.
I can support that considering the Grizzlies dismantled the Bulls defense in
Ooh,
their recent matchups. So if the Bulls don't figure out, or if Lonzo Ball and Alex Caruso don't make it back before the end of the season,
yep.
the Bulls can forget about it. So I can support that prediction with the 76ers. And also the Heat, when we're talking about 1, 2, 3 games, all it takes is for you to lose a fourth game and then you down in number 4. So I can
Mm-hmm.
support that one. That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So here's another one for me. The Boston Celtics will move up in the standings to acquire a fourth spot in the Eastern Conference. They're going to
Oh,
do this because they want to have better positioning. What they don't want to do is they don't want to have to play the top 3 teams in the Eastern Conference in round 1. So they're going to
mm,
be working to move up to at least a fourth spot. So if they're in the fourth spot, they'll potentially play who? Maybe Milwaukee and maybe the Cavs, maybe. So yeah, we'll see. That's my prediction for the Celtics because
wow.
right
That's
now the Celtics are what they won 9 of the last 10 games that they've played. The Jays have finally come together. The coach is now, I guess, now the continuity is finally showing up, and so yeah, the Celtics are like almost borderline box office at this point because if you think
Ooh.
about it, the Celtics were like really non-existent at the beginning of the season with all the turmoil and the new coach and the leadership changes and all of that debauchery that was happening on their roster. But to see them now flourish, becoming the Boston Celtics that we all knew they should have been anyway. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Boston Celtics will move up in the standing and they're going to secure a fourth spot.
Wow, that's impressive because yeah, they were struggling early on, and it's like night and day right now. It's just
Like
like
night and
wow.
day. It's like night and day, and it's just
Hmm.
in time. And so you got to be able to capitalize when the time is right. And I think the Boston Celtics have been able to do that so far this season.
Now, on the flip side of that, the Boston Celtics may move up, but I have the Los Angeles Lakers slipping all the way down out of play-in contention.
Out
I
of play
do.
in contention.
Oh, no, they're not. They're not even going to be in a play-in tournament with Anthony Davis out. Eventually they're going to go ahead and sit LeBron James. No reason to put wear and tear on him in his 19th season, and then they're going to fire Frank Vogel too. It's going to be chaos in Los Angeles.
Okay, wait a minute. You mean to tell me the Showtime Lakers, the number one team in the league, let's just call it what it is, especially whatever team LeBron is on, is the team that's going to be number one in the league, right? From a narrative perspective, from a discussion perspective. They're not going to even be in the play-in tournament.
No, they're
You
not
know
going
what?
to
I
make
can't
it.
even get mad at that because if you've seen their last few games,
Yeah,
they're
terrible.
doing good. They are holding on by a thread of the basketball. It
Hmm.
is it's ridiculous. They look
Yeah, and
horrible.
LeBron can't do it all by himself. He's
LeBron
trying.
can't do him by him. He can't do it by himself. You know what? Let's speak just real quick. I'm gonna go off just a little bit, you guys. Okay, so their last game they played against. Oh shoot.
The Clippers.
Okay, the Clippers, right? If you followed us for some time, you know I like the Clippers. But anyway, you know what? What made me so mad at the end of that game? Why didn't LeBron James just pull up on that three? That was his spot. That was
Hey.
his spot. He has pulled up from a 3 point in that same spot multiple games. If he
Hmm.
was going to do it, it would have been that at that time. And he didn't do
Hmm.
it. I was like, you know what? Oh, I was
No,
devastated.
he does not have the clutch gene. That's why he can't be the GOAT. He passed it off to Carmelo, and Carmelo clanked it. And that's how it works. And then he got the ball back with the last couple of seconds. But the game was already lost.
Yes.
The game was lost, and he went for that shot. And then he tried to act like he slipped on something on the sideline. I don't know if you saw that. I'm like, come on, man. You missed a shot. You don't have the clutch gene. The Lakers look terrible this season. And that's just it.
Man, and then yeah, that's a whole different. The Lakers discussion is a whole nother video. I can go on and on about them, but anyway, yeah. So I can
Mhm.
believe the Lakers sliding all the way out of the play-in tournament, which would be horrible if they don't do nothing else this season. They got to maintain at least a play-in tournament.
Well, we'll see, but hey, it ain't looking good. It is not looking good.
Not at all. Okay, let me see. All right, listen here. Now I know we were talking about trade. Who won the trade? Ben Simmons will not play one game this season for the Nets. It ain't gonna happen. We will have to be able to celebrate Ben Simmons next season on the Nets. It's not happening. Mm-mm,
Oh man,
mm-mm.
you don't think he's gonna suit up?
I don't see it. No, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't even see it because if we're talking about him not first, the first narrative is he's going to play eventually. He's just he's doing this. He's reconditioning. Because he hasn't played all season, right? Okay, so he's reconditioning right now. The latest news is that he has back soreness. Okay, so we know that's going to lead him up to the game in Philly. Which I don't even believe he's going to even show up to the game. I think he's going to be
Oh gosh.
he's not going to even travel with the team when they go to
Oh my
Philly. I
goodness.
believe that. You know what? At this point, how dare he step into the Philly arena and not be suited up? Like you can't step into the Philly arena and sit on the sideline. As a matter of fact, the Nets would do best to say he can't come because it's going to be a distraction. That's a done deal. So here we are. It was that March 10th, around mid-March sometime, and now we're going him to get on the court to do what? To figure it out, to get the chemistry going. Well, we got 10 more games left. Another month of games left, and here you come. Now you're gonna be the same. No. If anybody we should be looking to come back, should be Kevin Durant, because at the end of the day, it's gonna be Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, along with Patty Mills and everybody else, trying to get them to at least maintain a play-in positioning. But other than that, Ben Simmons, we're not gonna see him this season.
Oh, I
No,
hope
I don't
not.
see it.
He is going to appear so soft if he does not show up. It is not going to be good for him. And I think the narrative surrounding his exit from the Philadelphia 76ers will get just even more brutal toward him. So I hope he shows up, and I hope he plays.
If he wants to really show that he's not soft. I don't know how other way to make it. Could be another word for it, and I don't mean it to be negative, but if he wants to show
Mhm.
that he's strong, in the fact that he knows what his skill is and he knows his worth aside of what everybody else believes he should be, this is the game he needs to show up. I don't see it happening now.
I hope he does. Oh, if he does, the ratings will be through the roof. And if he turns around and showcases a jumper, oh,
Over.
yeah.
Oh, it's over. That's what I'm saying. But hopefully he'll be able to. Hopefully, I just don't see it. I don't see it for that game with the Philadelphia 76ers, and I just don't see him suiting up at all this season.
Wow. Okay. All right. I can support that, though I hope he shows up for sure. All right. Now, the San Antonio Spurs, they're pretty close to a play-in tournament spot, but I think with DeJounte Murray being a
Mhm.
first-time All-Star, and he's able to bring along the guys with him to make it to the play-in tournament. And check this out. I think they're going to make it to the playoffs. I think they'll make it out of the play-in and into the playoffs because guess what's fueling them? It's Greg Popovich's last season.
How you know?
You know this is his last season. Right?
Let me tell you something. Greg Popovich, if he can pull that off, along with the outstanding performance of DeMar DeRozan, that he just kind of, that's almost like DeMar DeRozan was able to energize himself when he was on the Spurs for those 2 seasons. It's almost like that would be a great way to go, to say, I'm just going to go ahead and sit in this office right here. I'm not going to be on the sideline anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that because it's Devontae Murray. What is he like? What, this is 12th or something? Triple-double? I'm like, ooh.
Oh yeah, he's you know what, he's a baller. He's a baller. And if he was in another market,
oh my goodness. But let me tell you though, if he can get his voice heard, he can do to the San Antonio Spurs what Ja Morant is doing for the Grizzlies right now. Let's just be real honest about that. So it's possible that it's small markets. I'm hoping the tides are turning for small markets to really now show up because they got great players. They got some great players, and they're young and explosive. Because I can tell you what's not exciting is watching these old players. I know they paid their dues. I was watching something. It was after the Lakers game, and the guys on NBA TV were talking, and one of the commentators was like, they were great players. They're now good players, but if you don't have your legs,
it's true.
I'm saying you cannot. What you gonna do? Great player turned good may not be good enough anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's like I agree. I fell out, but
yeah, it's a true statement. All right, you guys, we're going to wrap up this episode on our top 3 predictions for the last quarter of the NBA season. Make sure you drop down in the comments and let us know what your predictions are, and we will see you guys on the next one. But until then,
peace,
y'all.